Temple has a whole lot of research. My goal in the future is to go into academic research, and so that really drew me to the school because it's an R1 research university with so many labs and a whole lot of biology going on, and so there were a whole lot of things for me to choose from that were really interesting. I joined the field station because they have a field research element that was super interesting to me, and I really liked that the internships prioritized being able to do my own independent research alongside the overarching research of the lab, as that gave me a chance to pursue things that I was personally super interested in. So we have a few group projects with the lab. A lot of it corresponds to the forest that was kind of destroyed by a tornado a few years ago, and so we're studying the recovery of the trees and like how they're growing and the saplings as they're coming back, and we're like capturing seeds and taking water samples and basically trying to see how this forest is recovering from this huge natural disaster. So my personal project focuses on the bodies of water in the forest. After the tornado, we got a bunch of these little, almost like tide pools called ephemeral pools opening up in the forest, and they got filled with freshwater invertebrates from the creek. And so I'm kind of looking at how each of those little pools acts as its own ecosystem and how the populations of different organisms in there like rise and fall in response to each other. I think ecology and evolutionary biology are fields that can make a huge difference because they allow us to study how the organisms of this world interact with each other, and especially with work like what's going on in the field station, how they respond to natural disasters. And if we can understand that, we can predict impacts of climate change and how we can start to kind of mitigate those effects. I mean, there are a ton of benefits of getting hands-on experience, like from a career perspective, being able to say, like, I've been in a lab, I've done field research, I've done my own independent research is super, super valuable. But it's also really cool just to see how the science is done, and you see these results published everywhere, you see people talking about it, but being able to be a part of that process is really, really rewarding. My favorite memory so far is definitely getting to do field research with my advisor and some of the other interns, because we basically just get to like walk into the forest, and since it did get destroyed by a tornado, we're like walking across logs, jumping across creeks. Sometimes you like fall and you're like chest deep in this big thing of grass, and so there's just a bunch of laughs and just a bunch of like chaos as we're kind of wandering through this forest, which I have had a lot of fun with.